Hi guys, welcome in to Uma's Lotus Lounge. We are in season 4 and this is episode 14. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Whether you are watching me live on Meet Me, you're listening to me live on YouTube, or you're watching the replay, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. So we have some great things for you guys here today. I have a topic. And I know you guys love my topics. So, my topic today is from intention to embodiment. How we stop just setting intentions and actually start living them. Wow, right? So, I want to thank you guys again for coming here all the time. I know I see a couple of my regulars in the comments, and we have Nene, who was my past show host for this show. Thank you so much for being here, Nene, and always for your support. We've made some changes for all of my shows. 2026 wasn't just the beginning of a new year, it was actually the beginning of a new cycle. And I took the last few weeks of 2025 to really sit and think about my content. You guys know I'm a content creator. You see me on YouTube, you see me on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Lemon8, on Meet Me. And I love creating content. It's what I do. But I wanted to become more meaningful with my content and to protect it more and also tie it more to what I actually do in real life. And if you don't know, I'm the CEO of the Lotus in the Light Metaphysical Center located in Virginia. So yeah, this is the work that we do. And I wanted to create shows that represent that. Now, I know I'm an amazing psychic. I am an amazing psychic. But psychic work, psychic readings is a little bit of what I do. It's not the whole thing. I'm actually known as a spiritual teacher and a metaphysical mentor. So we're going to start seeing more of that as we go into 2026 and beyond. The show is going to be a little bit different today, but I hope you like it. And as always, I look forward to your comments in the comments, your likes, your faves, all of that. Now, I will say to those of you that watch on Meet Me, you get the added bonus that at the end of my show, if you drop a 1K gift or you do your challenges in here that are 1K or more, you will get a reading. So you will still get the psychic readings. Those are reserved for our gifters going forward. All right. So to begin our show, let's close our eyes, take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Place your hand on your heart and think about all the things that you are grateful for. There's so much going on in the world, guys. There is so much going on in the world. And we have to, every minute we get to just be grateful, we need to take that minute and just be grateful. Okay? So nice deep breath in and exhale. Now let's start with our energy of the week. We're going to go into our astrology and our horoscopes, but first let's see what our spirit guides are saying to us about the energy of the week. And what I get for the energy of the week is shine your light. Where and how you are seeking recognition for who you are and the talents you possess. Directly through hard work or indirectly through passivity and acting out. Your divine energy is calling you to actively seek attention, but for the right reasons, to inspire, uplift, and direct others to their higher self's greatest potential. So, this week you were asked to open your heart fully and take all necessary risks so that your spirit shines far and wide. Trust the gifts and talents that the universe has given you and commit yourself to their full development to serve both your creator and your fellow humans. Don't hide your light under a bushel, as Jesus counseled in the Sermon on the Mount. It's appropriate to use whatever stage you command to seek attention when you then use it to further the divine light in others. Shine your light. I have to tell you guys, I really resonate with this message. Put a 1 in the comments if this message resonates for you. Nay, thank you. All right, put a 1 in the comments if this message resonates for you, because when I was doing my psychic readings on another platform, on TikTok, I got a lot of people that wanted free readings, first of all, and they wanted to know about, is he going to call me? Is he going to come back? Will we reconcile? Like those kinds of questions, which there's nothing wrong with those kinds of questions. I do a lot of that for my clients privately, but I didn't want to be known for that. I didn't want to be that reader. You know what I mean? So when I decided to shine my light, I decided to step out as a soul alignment coach, which is what I do professionally. That's my line of work. And I have to tell you, it's been a little bit trying, because this is the first week that I'm trying it out. It is practically dead in my streams. All right, guys. It's like nobody's there, nobody's talking, nobody's gifting, nobody's doing anything. But I'm okay with that, because sometimes when you want to shine your light, sometimes you're only shining for yourself. And you have to be okay with that, because I'm moving away from a crowd of people that I don't want to be around, and I'm looking for my crowd. You know what they say, right? Your vibe attracts. What does it attract? Your vibe attracts your tribe. Okay? So even though I started out yesterday and today with this new energy, and it's not really taking off in my streams, I'm okay with that, because I trust fully and completely that once this gets going, my vibe is going to attract my tribe. All right? So this week carries a quieter, more reflective energy. It's not asking for big moves. It's asking for you to honestly, how can you show up in your life and shine your light, right? This is the question that you want to ask yourself this week. All right, welcome in everyone. This is Uma's Lotus Lounge. It is a featured stream. I just want to let you guys know that when we do block you from this stream, a featured stream, it does flag the moderators quickly. And when we file reports on you guys, we do tend to see a lot of these accounts getting banned, because you're not supposed to do that in a featured stream. Thank you, Lisa. All right, let's move into the astrology of the week. What is going on this week that we need to pay attention to? And then, of course, we're going to give the horoscopes for each of the zodiac signs in here before we get to our topic of the week, which is from intention to embodiment. How we stop just setting intentions and actually start living them. Okay. So today is Monday, January 12th, and this astrology is for today and this week, essentially, is what's going on. So we have a major astrology transits featuring Sun in Capricorn, Moon in Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn, Venus in Aquarius, Mars in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Cancer retrograde, Uranus retrograde in Taurus, and Pluto in Aquarius. Now, unless you study astrology, you have no clue what that means. Don't worry, that's why your girl Uma is here to help you with that. Basically, this week, the themes of this week is going to be about structure, your communication, transformation for some of you, and potentially challenging inner work, because a lot of those planets are in retrograde. And when we have planets in retrograde, basically what that means is it's asking you to look within and to go deeper. right? Whew. Has anybody started doing that? I mean, we clearly know Uma started doing that with the I'm changing the vibe of all my streams, I'm changing all my graphics, I'm changing the direction I'm going in. But have you started doing your deep inner work? Have you started like reflecting on where you're going in life? You know, those are things to ask. All right. So, with the sun in Capricorn this week, our focus is still on discipline, goals, and worldly achievements. So, if you've been finding you've been making to-do lists and writing things down and just very effective at work, and you're completing things off of your goals, setting goals and breaking them down, that's because that sun is in Capricorn and giving you that energy, right? To move on that. But we also have moon in Capricorn. So you're taking your wisdom and you're applying it to life, right? There's a very practical sense when Capricorn is involved, right? Now we have a Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, so you might have some issues in communication with others. How many of you have been feeling people have just been losing it on streams? I keep seeing people crash out, and I try to talk to them logically because I'm in my era, right? Capricorn, I'm a Capricorn. So Capricorn is loving all this Capricorn energy. So I'm like, it doesn't need to be that serious. You don't have to be that emotional. And then people are getting mad at me again for they're getting more, more worked up. But if you're having communication issues with others, we have a Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. This is a great time, by the way, for you to review your past ideas and to reflect on where you are, where you're going, where you want to go. These things are going to be important now. We do have Venus in Aquarius this week, which means that topics concerning innovation, community, relationships, finances are going to come up. Either you're doing well in those areas, or you might be coming up with new ideas about what you want to change in those areas. Mars is in Sagittarius, and there is a drive towards expansion, truth, and exploration. What is true for you? How do you want to show up in this world? Do you want to be better, do better? Are you starting anything new this week? That's that Mars and Sagittarius energy affecting. And then we have a Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, which is when we were talking about some people might be pulling within and reflecting. Cancer is a water sign. It's about deep thoughts and insights and clarity. So I feel for a lot of us, we're getting a lot of clarity about things that bother us, right? We have a Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Now, some of you might be facing karmic lessons. What goes around comes around. So if you've been a pretty terrible person, you might not be having the best week this week. If you've been a pretty great person, I think this is going to be one of those fantastic weeks for you, right? This is also a week to exercise spiritual boundaries and compassion. Everybody's fighting a different fight, guys. Just because they look happy on the outside doesn't mean that they have something going on the inside. So just be a little bit kinder to everyone this week. Just in general, be kinder to people in general. You just never know what they're going through and what brave face they're putting onto the world. Okay? Let's see. We have, we have the Uranus retrograde in Taurus. So, on a worldwide scale, I think we can look to disruptions as well as innovations in the financial fields and on the earth. So that's what I'm looking for this week. How are the financial systems being affected, and what's being innovated as well? We have the Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So many of you will be having spiritual dreams, but you'll also be having a lot of illusions based off of fear, right? That fear energy is running rampant on the planet. I have to tell people all the time that when you dream, it can either be a prophetic dream or it can be a subconscious dream, right? Which is if you have inner fears or inner struggles that you're going through and you haven't really worked them out, they tend to come up in your dreams so that you can see them kind of like on a movie theater screen, right? And you can look at it and then piece it bit by bit and figure out for yourself what that means. I'm really good with dream interpretation, and I've been having some really nice dreams this past week. So if you've been having dreams, it's your subconscious trying to give you some messages, and that's due to the Neptune retrograde in Pisces. What was my last dream? Actually, it was a very good prophetic dream. I had a dream that my family and I were driving from Virginia to Florida, and it was a caravan. Do you guys know what a caravan is? It's like when you have 4 or 5 cars following each other. They call it like a caravan, right? So for some reason, half of the caravan got stuck in North Carolina, and it was only myself and a friend in our car, it was like a truck, in Florida. So the idea was we were supposed to turn back around and go back to North Carolina to meet up with everyone else. But my friend, they never been to Key West. And it just was really deep in my soul. Like I had to get them to Key West because there's this, has anybody been to Key West? Right? There's this pole that you stand next to, and it says you are at the southernmost point in the whole of the USA. This is the southernmost point. When you stand there, you could actually see Cuba like in the distance, right? It's the last point in the whole US. And it was stuck in me. I had to get him to this, but then I was also with my family. So in my head, I was like, I'm going to get him to this point so he can take a picture and see the point. And then once that's done, we're going to drive back up to North Carolina to meet him. So what was the significance of that dream? I have a purpose. My purpose is here to help people, and that's what I do with the work that I do. And when it comes in my life to choose what my priorities are, I'm one of those people where my priority takes first purpose, even over partner, even over kids, even over family, even over delights of life. My purpose will always take first precedence, and that was what my dream was. So yes, thank you for that question. That was from Willpower. If you guys are having dreams, pay attention to your dreams and then interpret what your dreams are saying to you. So there is a lot of, I forgot. Pluto is also in Aquarius, which means that we are going to have deep transformation in society this week, technology, and humanitarian efforts. And I think that's important because I do keep my show, this featured stream, focused on the positive in life, but we are not spiritual bypassing, guys. We are very aware that something very negative has happened in America as of recent, as of last week. So I'm going to say this. Pluto in Aquarius, humanitarian efforts. We will see some big change happening in January concerning the current way things are being done and the way things are being run. We're going to start to see some big change this week and the rest of January while Pluto is in Aquarius, and it will focus on humanity and humanitarian efforts. So if you are picking up what I am putting down, put a 1 in the comments. If you are completely clueless, come back to my stream after this show and we'll talk about it. Okay. Welcome in, everyone. This is Uma's Lotus Lounge. It's a featured stream here on the Meet Me app, and we are also live streaming to the YouTube podcast show, Uma's Lotus Lounge, as well. Thank you for being here. Remember, anybody who sends a 1K gift or more will get their own special energy assessment psychic reading at the end of this show. Now it's time for us to get into our horoscopes for each of the 12 zodiac signs. So if you are here, you are perfectly right on time because we are about to get into the horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs. Today, I chose to go with the horoscopes from glamour.com, okay? Glamour.com for the horoscopes today. So we're going to start with Aries. Do we have any Aries in the building? Aries, sun, moon, or rising. This is the message for you this week. It's not just for today, it's for the week. Aries, if you are stymied on direction or your next move at work, tune into your subconscious. That goes doubly if you think someone else is outmaneuvering you from behind the scenes in your career or public standing. There's a part of you that knows everything is not, and let me tell you, it's not your conscious mind. However, the aim is to tease out intel so you can understand it consciously. You've got to go to your inner filing cabinet to fish out the info you seek. It is all there. So Aries, trust your intuition is basically what all of that is saying this week. Taurus, do we have any Taurus in the building? When I don't see anybody put their signs in the comments, I go over it quickly because it's like a paragraph. So if they're not here, I just go over it quickly, and then whoever puts their signs in the comments, I read the whole thing. So Taurus, do we have any Taurus in here? This is the last week of earthy Capricorn season, Taurus. It has a highly practical and ambitious edge to it with its start of the year back to work vibe. This sets you up for another year. Your fresh restart is all about revisiting your game plan and making sure you're thinking with ambition, responsibility, and a few time-honored skills or approaches thrown in. All right? That's for Taurus. Gemini, do we have any Geminis in here? Let me also check YouTube. All right. Gemini, a lot is happening in your private realm. Perhaps intimacy, a private journey, and a part of you only now germinating is filling out in its cocoon. Apart from this, you have your responsibilities in the wider world, your friendships and networks to tend. There is a sensitive spot that could be triggered, or that could be someone else impeding on your private bliss. Aim at the bigger picture of your career and public image. That is for Gemini. Next, we have Cancer. Do we have any Cancer people in the building? All right, Cancer, with your partnership sector still lit up like your favorite store, all the candy is waiting for you in your one-to-ones. But this isn't just a snack, it's a long-term commitment with loyalty and responsibility in a fun way. This is the arena where you meet the pleasure principle, Venus, the action principle, Mars, and a big personality you just can't keep your eyes off. Connect one-on-one with close friends, make dates with your partner, or step up the romance in your dating life. Okay? That is for Cancer. Do we have any Leos? Yep, we did Taurus. Any Leos in here? Leo, a focus on your work, daily routines, and wellness habits continue into this week. So take care of business in these departments. Remember, realistic, sustainable goals and a consistent approach are the key to results over time. That is for Leo. And Virgo. Do we have Virgos in here? No Virgos? Virgo. Okay, you're going to get the whole thing. Aloha. Virgo, a progressive or radical update to your overarching view on life, philosophy, or even travel plans is a smooth transition this week. It may be instigated by a unique individual who brings a flash of enlightenment, either in person or through social media. It's always welcome to have those personal upgrades as well as positive surprises to the schedule. And it offsets the homework we have this week as a few planets square off in the sky, creating a challenge to integrate. Like when two parts, sides, people, or ideas seem so at odds that they never see eye to eye, your leisure time isn't quite working in with another close, intimate connection or their resources. Rather than clash over it, just note the tension or the resistance. Once you're clear on all the working parts, you can find a solution that works for everyone. A win-win is just going to take a bit more work and perhaps a little more healing around shared resources for a positive outcome. All right, that is for Virgo. Hi, Dimples. Libra, do we have any Libras in here? All right, Libra, here is your horoscope for the week. Libra, this month has a private club feel. Ooh. Quality, slowness, a sense of the past, and time-honored rituals. Keep your cards close to your chest and savor your personal time. Surprise benefits arrive through a close, trusted connection, so don't let that pipeline leak. If you're feeling saucy, then spice up your life by trying something new, sensual, and embodied. Checking out the more psychological or mystical side of life? A flash of understanding illuminates a few mysteries around Thursday. Someone close may need extra care, so pay attention to your partnership. Just be sure you aren't hurt in the process, as sometimes hurt people. Look at a triggered sensitive spot as an opportunity for healing. That is for Libra. Welcome in, everyone. This is my featured stream, Uma's Lotus Lounge. So happy to have you. After we do the horoscopes, we're going to get to our topic for today. Now we have Scorpio. Do we have any Scorpios in here? Okay, Scorpio. The moon glides through your secretive sign Sunday through Tuesday, making this a great time for private time or with a close friend or partner. You have an inward focus this week as opposed to a party animal. That said, a dimly lit booth in your favorite restaurant for a meal with two close friends could just be the ticket to keep the ball rolling on goals, intentions, and just getting back into life after the holidays. That is for Scorpio. Do we have any Sagittarius in here? Sagittarius, here is your, oh, we got a Sagittarius just came in. All right, Sag, here is your horoscope for the week. The moon spins through your sign Tuesday afternoon through Friday, which looks like a chunk of the week, but it will fly by. Over these days, drop into your felt sense, your body, your feelings, and dial up your intuitive voice from there. See what your gut has to share with you. Have your own mini monthly vision quest over these days and note the signs and symbols that resonate strongly with you. When you set up and work on a relationship like this with yourself, you build trust. Yes, you build trust with yourself. While you love people and friendship is high on your list of values, remember to prize your own friendship equally. The pursuit of income, resources, or spending could put pressure on what you need to do for yourself. Get clear on your needs and don't abandon yourself in favor of building your bank account. Find a balance. All right? That is the message for Sagittarius. Now, where are my Capricorns at? Capricorns, happy birthday, Capricorns. We are still in the Capricorn season. And speaking of which, I will not have my featured show next week because next week, Monday, is my birthday. And I will be traveling for my birthday. So I will be streaming, but I just won't be somewhere where I can do my featured show like this. So I'll be back in 2 weeks after my birthday, okay? Capricorn, this is the last week of Venus in your sign, so make the most of it with a charm offensive or splurge on something you find pleasure in. Take your look seriously. First impressions count. You have impact, clout, and personal appeal. Use it to bolster your confidence and own your qualities. No point putting off self-love, assertion, or expression until you're older. No regrets. Live the most on version of yourself now. Trigger warning for this week as Chiron barnstorms your best intentions, like bringing a cream cake to an office party only to trip at the door. Events may not quite run to plan. Impulsive action isn't your friend right now, so be mindful, Capricorn, and don't rush. A little brash side note could undermine your virtuous vision, so keep it all above board and professional. Be sure to do you as only you can while tending to issues you may feel sensitized to or even wounded by. Note any moments you're abandoning yourself in any way, small or large. This is an important healing journey for you, and it starts with self-awareness. All right, that is the message for Capricorn. Do we have any Aquarius energy in here? We got 2 more signs to go, Aquarius and Pisces. All right, Aquarius, Venus arrives in your sign by Saturday, so plan to make the most of your social calendar by filling a few more spots. Capricorn loves to plan and schedule, so take yourself to task this week. Get ahead on your work or chore load to make room for your birthday season. Beginning Monday. This week, confidence in your inner world and innate authority may be tested. Spicy Trini, thank you. That is Big Rose. He has a name change. Everybody definitely hit a fave if you like music, if you like conversation, if you like spiciness. That's where you can find me, is in Spicy Trini's Live, aka Big Rose. Okay. And finally, Pisces. Pisces, surprise connections between your extended network and friends activate over this week, making it the perfect time to pick up where you left off socially if you slowed down over the holiday period. Find opportunities to meet someone exciting or a group of people who share an interest, vibe, or values. With Venus in Capricorn, style has a conservative edge with an old world charm or modern yet corporate chic. Work with the energy of the season. There we have it. Those are the zodiac horoscopes for the week for each of the zodiac signs. I hope that it resonated for you guys, and that is from Glamour Online. All right, let's dive into the thought of the day, okay? I have the thought of the day here for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Let's talk about it. The thought of the day. You can't keep getting mad at people for sucking the life out of you if you keep giving them the straw. Ooh, I saw that on Facebook, and I was like, okay, let's talk about this. You can't keep getting mad at people for sucking the life out of you if you keep giving them the straw. I don't know if it's because I have really strong boundaries or people don't have enough boundaries, but I tend to come face to face with people that just really let people walk all over them. And I don't understand why, right? Because I feel like it's just easy to say to people, hey, I can't do it. I can't help. I'm sorry you're in this position. I currently have someone where I nearly broke my boundaries for, but I was like, I'm not doing it. And basically, it's a lady who came to my center, and she took a couple of classes with me over the years, and then she stopped coming, which is normal. You know, when you have a center, you have your regulars, you have people that pop in, pop out. So she was regular at my center for a couple of years, then she dropped off, and then she came back, and she was going through a lot of stuff. She pretty much fell into depression. But I tried to help. You know, she wanted to come back to get some healing sessions. I gave her a huge discount because money was a problem for her. But, you know, she was living a life where she wasn't working. You know, she was just on her phone all day, every day, not cleaning up her house, not going out, like just ordering in food, like just really living the high life, right? Just hanging out. And I told her, I said, you gotta save yourself, right? There's nobody coming to save any of us, guys. We have to save ourselves. And she won't listen to me, which is understandable. You know, I can't make people do things that they don't want to do, right? So now the situation is, I saw her recently post on social media that she is looking for someone to help her out because her car got repoed and she needs like $13,000 to get it out of repo. And if she doesn't get it within like 16 days, it's going to be sold and she's not going to have the car. And I feel very terribly for her because like she's really stuck, right? She doesn't have a car, all this other stuff. But the thing is that I can't be the one to help her. One, I'm not in a position to help her. But then two, this is somebody that I was trying to help years ago and asking her for one thing, which was accountability. Be accountable for what you do and how you do it and put yourself in these situations. And this person, you know, has not lived up to her accountability, and now she's in this place, which is very sad. But this just made me remember of that because we can't feel responsible for people when they are crash and burning after they've just made like life completely crazy, right? So I feel like this is a great thing to think about. I can't be blaming other people when I'm giving them the tools to hurt me and to harm me. So just keep that in mind. And let's bring it to today's topic, intention to embodiment, right? Intention versus lived behavior. It's not enough to just have the intention to want to do something. You have to have a desire to change. And what happens is we find a lot of people make goals, especially at the beginning of the year, and then they don't see it through. Well, intentions are great to start the energy, to motivate you, but you have to have a game plan, right? So embodiment is where that comes in. Embodiment shows up in your small daily choices. For example, if you say, how many of you said, I want to lose weight this year, right? That's like a normal New Year's resolutions. I want to lose weight this year, right? What's the embodiment of that? Okay, I could go take a walk every day for like 20 minutes, right? Yeah, that would work. I can take a walk for 20 minutes. Okay, what else can work? What else can work? You know, with each meal, I can have a salad, a small salad to start with. Okay, there you go. So when you have your intentions, if you don't have embodiment with the intentions, then it's not going to go anywhere. And I do a lot with goal setting because that's how I help my clients. Like they tell me where they want to be, and then we map out a goal setting, agenda, and then I check in with them, and then we see how they keep up with the goals. And I'll tell you this, when you're setting goals, bite-sized pieces, right? Yeah. Bite-sized pieces. If you're trying to, I want to lose 50 pounds this year, don't try to lose 20 pounds in January. You know what I'm saying? Aim for small things. I'd like to lose a pound a week. And if I can do a pound a week, 50 weeks later, I'm down 50 pounds, right? So that's how you do that. Remember, guys, your life doesn't respond to just what you wish for. It responds to who you are being. So as you go forth this week, ask yourself, how am I showing up in my life, right? And am I on the path that I want to be on to be a better person in the future? I feel like a lot of times people get lost with distractions like this. We love this app. We so love being on this app, but this app can be a distraction, right? Sometimes don't you guys find like on social media too, you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and then 4 hours pass and you're like, where did the time go? Right? So don't do that. Don't do that. Definitely try to stay on your path, have your intentions of what you want to create for yourself, and then embody it. So I'm going to leave you with a question for this week. Ask yourself, when you're making choices, is this choice aligned with the life I want? Right? If you're trying to lose weight and your friend's like, hey, you want a milkshake? Is this choice aligning with the life I say I want? And that will start to help you get more into embodying the path that you want to take. All right, before I go, let's see. I think I have... Shout out to the top 3 gifters of the stream: Spicy Trini, aka Big Rose, Queen Snow Angel, and Nene. So I'm going to be giving readings to Queen Snow Angel. If you are in here, thank you so much. When I end my show, you will get a reading. Thank you for your 1K or more gift. All right, so before I end the show, I want to tell you guys what's coming up this week. I've been doing a lot of revamping of my schedule because I do so many different things, and I'm just really grateful that I have people that show up on a regular basis for my things. So specifically to meet me, we have on Friday nights, we have friendly roast-offs and music battles in my stream. All right, so just pull up anytime from 9:30 and you can find me in my stream hanging out. Last week we did generational roast-offs, and it was so funny because we had Gen X going up against millennials, and it was a fun time. Everybody was laughing. Everybody was having a good time. So this week we're doing music battles, and I'm thinking of men versus women roast-off. I think that would be funny. Men versus women roast-off. Let's see how that goes. And on Saturday, meet me at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have one of my favorite shows that I do on here. It's called The Great Debate. So if you like to discuss, we bring 4 topics for discussion. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we debate it, and it's really fun and it's really nice. So if you're on here for connection, community, networking, discussions, please feel free to drop in on Saturday for The Great Debate. And if you're on here for those kinds of things, hit me with the follow, because every time I stream, we have lots of discussions in my stream. That's what we're for. To everyone else off of Meet Me, I have the Spirit Circle class tonight in mediumship development at 7 p.m. So if you are an aspiring medium, you're looking for practice, please feel free to come by tonight. Tonight we are doing mediumship and channeling, as I'm not teaching next week Wednesday. I will be off for my birthday. And on Wednesday, we have the Lotus Circle event, which is, shoot, I thought I had it up here for you guys to tell you guys, but I do not. I'm going to pull it up really quickly. We have a different event every Wednesday night, so I'm just trying to remember which one it is for Wednesday. It is your 2026 Spiritual Vision Plan. So we're having the Everyday Spirituality Circle on Wednesday at 7 p.m. And in this event, your 2026 Spiritual Vision Plan, we're going to create your daily spiritual rituals, all right, to help you establish simple, sustainable spiritual practices that will support you with your consistency, clarity, and grounding as you move through life, okay? So that is going to be on Wednesday at 7 p.m. If anybody here on Meet Me or watching me live want to get tickets for that online class, please feel free to hit me up. I am happy to send you tickets for that. All right. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button and drop me your comments and let me know what you thought about the show. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you soon. Bye for now, guys.